Hello everyone. Today in this module we will be studying about biodiversity. Biodiversity is the contraction of biological diversity, which generally refers to the variety and variability of life on earth. It is also defined as the variability within species, between species and between different ecosystems. Therefore, we can say that it is a measure of variability of different organisms in different ecosystems. Biodiversity is an important component of nature and ensures the survival of human species by providing medicines, food, shelter, fuel and many other resources to mankind. In this module, we will be learning about the status of biodiversity, how it is monitored and the documentation of biodiversity. Let's start this module with the status of biodiversity. Biodiversity is defined in the Convention on Biological Diversity as the changeability amongst living organisms from all sources comprising land-dwelling, marine and their aquatic ecosystems and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. This includes diversity within species, between species and between ecosystems. Biodiversity is to describe the variety of life forms, the ecological roles they perform, the genetic diversity they contain. Status of biodiversity indicates its current scenario. It lists the existing species, population structure and their interactions amongst themselves and with the immediate surroundings. It informs the changes happened as compared to previous records and helps in projecting future implications. Finding out the status of biodiversity through monitoring is a difficult task. A practical and implementable protocol for monitoring, commitment to conduct the process is very vital. It becomes even more difficult to carry out these activities in countries with rapid economic growth. In many nations, monitoring is simply not complicated. Without relevant scientific facts, the mentioned indicators of biodiversity status remain as an intellectual exercise. These may not be specifically helpful for policy growth and decision making. Many important components of biological divergence are becoming extinct at unprecedented rates, with critical consequences on ecosystem services that are very important for human societies. This biodiversity disaster has forced several countries to decide at the 6th meeting of the Conference of the Parties called COP to the Convention of Biological Diversity CBD in April 2002 to achieve by 2010 a sizable reduction of the present rate of biodiversity loss at the worldwide, regional and national level. This agreement is referred as the 2010 biodiversity target. The CBD COP demands data on trends in extent of selected biomes, ecosystems and habitats, and trends in opulence and spread of identified species. This slide shows forests showing richness in biodiversity. Biodiversity monitoring. Biodiversity monitoring can be addressed either by primary data generation or by secondary data collection. Care has to be taken in generating primary data as this is more authentic and close to reality. It can produce data sheets that mentioned about a particular species, presence in a place at a specific point of time, Source of origin is very important for secondary data information. Any ambiguity in the data may completely detour the very aim of monitoring. Mid-course corrections are possible at time of primary data generation, and the same can't be looked at in secondary data as it can't be changed. Secondary data actually highlights current state of biodiversity instantly. Sizable progress has made in developing biodiversity informatics over the past few decades. An example is, since about 1980, biodiversity data have been captured in digital formats with better accuracy. The process of Darwin Core and the Distributed Generic Information Retrieval Protocol (DIGIR) opened the floodgates for data accessibility. Related developments, for example, access to biological collections data, ABCD schema, taxonomic data base working group, accessible protocol for information retrieval, TAPIR have made the situations better. There are greater than 20 crore biodiversity records available online to research worldwide. Most of this is coming from biodiversity information networks providing direct access to primary ResearchGate data such as the Global Diversity Information Networks GBIF, WordNet, Species Link, Red Mundial Para Informacio, NDILA Biodiversity, RAMID and others. Most of these databases are Europe and America centric. Some other important parts of the world like Asia, Africa and Australia are yet to be evaluated and incorporated with similar kinds of details. The data sets are mostly animal science based. Descriptions of plants and microbes are to be extensively added. In addition, the data do not support value added features such as georeferencing. Currently, chief efforts are presently to automate and create the georeferencing procedure faster and more efficient, interpreting textual locality descriptors intelligently and converting them into usable latitude longitude coordinates with identified degrees of error or uncertainty. Tools for spatial interpretation of information regarding species distribution into objective based strategies for management and conservation have improved considerably. Analytical tools for biodiversity information have matured considerably in recent years. Another important step is that of quality control, in which records likely holding errors are flagged, cleaned or corrected. In this slide, we can see the biodiversity hotspots across the world. This slide shows the hierarchical association of the Global Biodiversity Monitoring Network. The network would include global top-down programs and regional programs. These programs monitor two components of biodiversity, that is, the species and ecosystems. In the global programs, the global sampling of indicator taxa at 2 to 5 years intervals is done. The other shows that global land cover maps at 5-year intervals. In the regional programs, regional monitoring of local relevant taxa is done, and the regional monitoring of particular habitats, for example wetlands, are also done. Previous biodiversity monitoring programs have three major reigns, that is, incomplete taxonomic and spatial coverage, lack of compatibility connecting data sets due to different collection methodologies, and inadequate integration at different scales. Most of the newer monitoring systems are incorporating these issues in their protocols. Budgetary limitations adds up to the list of problems. As a consequence, it is important to evaluate a priori the spread of sampling elements with respect to the known distribution of the species. This helps in carrying out the survey easily. Biased nature of sampling for a particular species or group favors the focused species or group, thereby neglecting other species. Overexpression or underexpression of the species seriously affects the quality of the database. These features will have serious implications on model outputs generated from these sources. Initial steps of data complication and quality control are without doubt the most time consuming but also the most important aspects, or else the well known garbage in garbage out rule will dominate in developing a database. Next we will be reading about the biodiversity survey. Monitoring is necessary for an adaptive management approach and the successful implications of the ecosystem management. The initial phase in biodiversity survey is estimating biodiversity at one point in time and location. The second phase of monitoring biodiversity is estimating diversity at the same place more than one time period for drawing implications about change. Specific attributes of biodiversity have been identified that can be assessed at each level of ecological organization. At landscape level, attributes that could be monitored include the identity, distribution and proportion of each type of environment and the distribution of species within those habitats. At ecosystem level, richness, evenness and diversity of species and communities are important. At species level, abundance, density and biomass of each population will have significance towards its existence. At genetic level, genetic diversity of individual organisms within a population is important. Comprehensive data generation across spatial and temporal scales helps better in the assessment and interpretation of biodiversity status of a region. The slide shows the biodiversity monitoring done for a particular ecosystem. The Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD) focused to achieve a significant reduction of the current rate of biodiversity loss at the global, regional and national level so as to assist in poverty alleviation and also for the benefit of all life on earth. It is imperative to address these kinds of goals. In reality, it is extremely difficult to achieve these in our current living system. It is suggested that monitoring should be focused on trends in the abundance and distribution of populations and habitat. These activities are to be carried out at both local and regional level. A global monitoring network of biodiversity helps in generating information in a more holistic manner. The global scale programs would follow a top-down approach with an emphasis on central coordination, whereas the regional scale programs would follow a bottom-up approach with an emphasis on regional needs and capabilities. The scientific community should have a major role in designing and implementing the network as per the needs. These include a monitoring program for the regular global sampling of indicator taxa of biodiversity, a global network of regional programs monitoring indicator populations for terrestrial, freshwater and marine biodiversity, the production of regular and comparable global land cover maps based on remote sensing, a global network of regional programs monitoring habitats that are best monitored or have particular relevance at the regional level. This slide shows the three phases of biodiversity monitoring. That is, the identification of monitoring questions, identification of monitoring methods, and data analysis, interpretation, and management integration. Monitoring activities at ecosystem level will provide information about land cover. The species component will provide information about the aspects of ecosystem condition. The taxonomic coverage of current species monitoring program is incomplete. There are few data on global plant distribution. This is a major deficiency given the ecological importance of plants. A single snapshot of species distribution is often insufficient to assess its vulnerability fully. To address these issues, the global assessments currently are also compiling information about population trends based on information from experts and available data sets. This slide shows the biodiversity, that is the different vegetation and animals, the flora and fauna, and the human interactions. During the monitoring, vulnerability ranks to target species can be assigned to highlight their extinction probabilities. This helps in giving a focused attention to species that are on the edge of extinction. These kinds of measures also help in managing available resources for monitoring in a judicious manner. The best examples of monitoring programs come from regular regional surveys of taxa, frequently based on the works of hundreds of amateurs. Herbarium samples and natural history museum samples can also be used to create demonstrative assessments of the trends in the distribution of species. Units in area where many accomplished volunteers exist could be sampled every year, whereas the most isolated units could be sampled less regularly. Newer and cost-effective technologies can be included in the monitoring program. Monitoring of ecosystem cover can be done using remote sensing data. Sensor capable of these will give a remarkable impetus to current monitoring programs. Regional evaluation combining satellite remote sensing with on-the-ground monitoring and aerial photography can be particularly important in studying habitats that are best monitored at small scales, such as wetlands and coral reefs. The Global Biodiversity Monitoring Network could develop the provision of data for many of the indicators adopted by the CBD to assess progress towards achieving the set goals for biodiversity conservation. Next, we will be talking about the documentation. Documenting the generated information is very important. It helps in making valuable reports based on the need-based monitoring. Wider dissemination of these assists in bringing awareness about the current status of biodiversity. During documentation, care should be taken that the document does not hold too much amount of scientific and technical jargons. A balance has to be made so as to enable the contents to be easily followable by all the interested groups. Answering the following during monitoring can exemplify the transition going from reasonably straightforward baseline list to complex scenario building. This helps the researcher in exploring various options for action in the field and also in providing policy relevant advice to the lawmakers. They also help in making better documentation. The important aspects are: what are the various elements of biodiversity? Where does the ecosystem species occur? What species of interest, some environmental resource, is found in a particular area or region, whether it is protected area or administrative zone? What environments, ecosystems or some environmental resource exist and where are they found? How are environments being managed naturally? How much is the anthropogenic pressure? Is something, that is species, ecosystem or some environmental resource, changing? By what scale? Is it important? What can be done about it? What will happen if perturbations that like fire, global warming, agricultural activity, natural calamities, etc. disturb the ecosystem? The following inputs can be included in the documentation. To summarize, we can say that biodiversity is an important term which replaces terms like species richness and species diversity, which were used for a long time. It is actually the totality of genes of a particular species in different ecosystems on earth. It is very important to understand the status of biodiversity, the methods of its monitoring and documentation in order to conserve life and biodiversity on earth. Thank you.